This gentleman comes in. It's Andrew Kramer from Urology Associates at Cape Cod, and this gentleman comes in, and you got to be prepared for anything. And we're just gonna theoretically lower the pump, put it lower in the scrotum, and the incision's well healed. So we're gonna go in. We're planning on just moving it, but you got to be prepared for anything. We open it, and just pus starts pouring out of it. Unfortunately, so we realize maybe this whole thing's infected, which is unfortunate because at first we think, well, maybe it's just subcutaneous, it's not deep. So I'm just going to swap the pump, but we're going to irrigate copiously, then put a new pump low. That's the initial thinking, but that optimism doesn't last. First of all, we're going to irrigate with betadine at this point to really give some heavy duty cleansing, but the optimism doesn't last because we are going to go ahead and actually going to prepare to put the new pump on. We have it prepared. And as we're putting it on, we're going to go ahead and pump it up. So the pump is attached now. As we pump it, we see pus coming from the reservoir site. And I'll tell you later, we also see pus coming from the right cylinder. So at this point, you're going to see that I'm filling up the reservoir. Oh boy. As I fill the reservoir, pus pours around it. So the reservoir was surrounded in pus. But he's a big gentleman. He didn't feel it. There's a lot of layers there. So I've got pus now on two sites. That's enough evidence. You need to do a salvage. You got to be flexible and you got to be capable to do whatever plane comes in. So I'm going to go ahead and everything's got to come out at this point. That reservoir clearly is infected. I'm going to take that out. But I'm going to inflate his existing cylinders. And by the way, this right one, as I inflate it, I see pus come out again. So basically all the parts were infected. So I'm going to trace the inflated cylinders. I'm going to take them out. You've got to do a salvage at this point. And a salvage, you do a washout with antibiotics and hydrogen peroxide and betadine and bacitracin and gentamicin. You do a thorough cleansing, and then you put in a semi-rigid implant. In this case, I'm going to put in a Rigicon, and that's a semi-rigid implant. So the existing implant is out. I'm measuring and dilating because you still have to do the case. You've got to do the procedure. You got to leave them with a good implant. So I'm going to put 2 catheters inside of each corpora, irrigate copiously with all those solutions like we said. It's called a Mulcahy salvage. We got the betadine, dilute. We got dilute, hydrogen peroxide, and other antibiotic solutions. So the corpora are lavaged, the reservoir is out, and the scrotum is also irrigated. When I do that, I'm going to go ahead and then put in the semi-rigid of choice, which is going to be this Rigicon. So I prepared a good 11 millimeter girth implant. It's coated, so it's hydrophilically coated with antibiotic. So cylinders are going to go in, first side, second side, and once these are in, he's got an implant he can use. He's got an implant that's functional, and his infection's cleared. We always could go back and put in another 3-piece another day, but at this point, you have to do the right thing, which in this case is take it out, not just do the pump, do the salvage, do the semi-rigid, in this case the Rigicon, then we close the multiple layers, scrotum's going to heal in no time. He's got a functioning implant and ready for a 3-piece down the road. I'd be willing to do it for him. Thank you so much. Andrew Kramer, Urology Associates at Cape Cod.